Angel of Death photographed in South Africa, 2011. I'm going to read you a newspaper article here about a hoax photograph, and then I'll give my perspective with regards to the points within the article. It appears to be a sick joke. The witness can reveal that the photo of a ghostly image hovering over Friday's horror accident scene, in which 15 people died, is a fake. A local resident who asked not to be named confessed yesterday that the photo was a prank he played on his sister. My friend edited the photo using his iPhone. I don't know how, but he did it very quickly. I didn't mean for the photo to spread as it did. I only sent it to my sister as she freaked out and sent it to all her friends without me knowing. The image, which appears to show the form of a pale-skinned child wearing a long white dress hanging above the chaotic scene, caused a huge stir, and the witness received calls and visits. Now, the witness is the name of the newspaper. It received calls and visits from fascinated members of the public yesterday, all expressing their own opinions. Many believe that the little girl in the image was the angel of death. One resident said, "I'm not a religious person, but I believe that the image is of the angel of death. There are a lot of people talking about the photo as it is going around the area. People are shocked. They can't believe that things like this exist." It even had a paranormal expert gobsmacked who said, "Amazing picture. I have never seen anything like it in my 15 years of involvement in the paranormal research." Okay. As it was taken from a cell phone, it would be almost impossible to edit, especially as you can see it is not a top-of-the-range phone that was used. The pixel differentiation is not very high. Also, the said image blends in naturally with the rest of the background. The photo was taken with a Nokia 6710 Navigator from the backyard in a road near where this accident took place. "I think it was the fogginess of the photo that helped the picture blend in so well," a local resident said. "The accident made a profound effect on many residents." Hilton van Hoek, a tow driver who attended the accident scene, said that after the accident had been dealt with, for the first time ever in his experience, a prayer was said. "They gathered us together and some people expressed their thanks to those on the scene. A man from the fire department said a prayer encouraged us to seek counseling." Van Hoek said there was a whole lot of emotions going through the mind at the accident scene. "We were trying to get our work done and assisting getting a guy out. We were trying to console people at the scene. Paramedics were dealing with having to lose their patients. When the man prayed, it brought a sense of relief." To continue to the next page. Asked what he thought of the picture, he said, "I don't know. If it's a joke, it's a sick joke." However, the local man who insists he took the photo said there is no trickery involved and that the photo has not been manipulated at all. Craig Parayachi said he took the photo of the accident scene from a vantage point at his home near the accident. Speaking to the witness yesterday, Parayachi said that when he later looked at the image on his cell phone, he realized there was something strange about it. "I saw there was something in the sky over the accident scene. I am not playing the fool," he insisted. Parayachi, who is Christian, firmly believes the image is the angel of death. Parayachi said that he went to the accident scene and showed the image on his phone. The paramedics on the scene, they said that I was trying to play the fool. Despite repeated assurances that he would come to the witness yesterday and show us the original photo, he failed to arrive and hung up when called, thus proving that he was lying and deceiving. So the few points that I want to highlight here, which obviously you could see the deceptive points standing out within this entire article, but the perspective that I would like to add here is that in a society where we are directed and governed by our beliefs within religious systems, it just shows you yet again here by the response of people to the original hoax photograph how easily people will go from, living in this physical reality and every day you're dealing with physical things and your own physical body and having to move yourself within the physical reality to being able to drawn into illusional states of mind very, very quickly. It's very easy to take the human, as you can see here, into the unknown, the unseen, and the delusional, because as humanity, we've already separated ourselves so extensively from what is real, meaning what is actually going on in this physical reality. How many beings have to starve and have to be left in abusive situations within the current world systems for the rest of us to be able to live in the systems and thrive in the systems. We've separated ourselves so far from the reality of what we have allowed as humanity that to do that we have to pull ourselves into the mind and create illusionary realities for ourselves to be able to cope with and deal with what we accept and allow on a day-to-day basis. Because the average human being, for us to be able to survive within the system and to not speak up against the system, has to distance themselves from their own experiences within the capitalist system, what you have to go through to be able to provide for your family, what happens to you on a personal level, and what you see in the newspapers and on television every day is a shocking reminder for most people of what really goes on. And yet it is not, there's nothing that people want or can do to change the current system, because we've come to accept the current system as it is. And therefore it is very easy for the human to take themselves into a mind-possessed state where they will quickly turn to the spiritual to be able to explain things away. And this again shows you very clearly how easy it is to trap a human being in the mind where they go into the spiritual, the macabre, the unseen, the unexplainable. And the next point here that I want to refer to is where people were they were referring to the people on the accident scene and how they just had to now, I mean, yes, the photo was proved to be a hoax and that's a bit of a bummer, but now the witness, the newspaper, they just have to go and play on people's emotions even more, which is how one traps people even more into the energetic possession experience of emotions and feelings and escaping one's reality, where they had to go and mention how emotional all the people were who had to deal with the accident, the paramedics and the firefighting people and the tow truck driver, because, I mean, half of the planet is living on the bread line or is starving. You only need to open the newspaper and go on the internet to see how many billions of humans and animals are being abused every single day in a very, very real situations, either due to starvation because of corruption or power and control through monopoly and through political parties, or it is actual people being abused, shot, hurt, injured in a society where we have come to accept abuse and the violence and the anger that exists within the human. I mean, there are countless stories on the internet of war, abuse, rape, and within most families even, you can go and look at the secret things that exist, that every child is growing up into and has to face. The abuse, the countless numbers of abusive things that are done to animals every day within the capitalist system. Now, you want to tell me that at this accident scene, people went into an emotional reaction, whereas every day in the world, countless abusive actions are being allowed against our fellow humans, nature, and the animal kingdom. Countless. I mean, it is for me shocking beyond anything that we as humanity can actually continue as we are, accepting the current world as it is and the abusive institutions that protect itself, because the human just continues. Nobody wants to stand up and stop the abuse that is being allowed. So again, this possessive state and this emotional manipulation that is being used by the newspaper to try and convince me that it is such a special moment that all of these paramedics cried because 15 people died in this truck accident. I do not accept that is relevant. That is manipulation that is being used by the newspaper to get people to buy more newspapers. every single day beings are starving and being killed. Yet the newspaper here plays on the fact that the paramedics play on the fact when they were interviewed and the truck driver was interviewed, he tried to emotionally manipulate the man who was interviewing him to try and get him to, you know, have sympathy for him and his little experience. But as humanity, so look how that is all based in absolute self-interest. The newspaper is playing on the emotional point to sell the newspaper. They don't care about reporting actual news. They want to trigger people's emotional reactions so that they will get hungry for the energy that they experience when they are experiencing their emotions and feelings, so that they buy the next newspaper. The same with that trucker guy who was at the accident and all the paramedics. Do they really care about all the lives that are lost every day in the world and that are abused every day in the capitalist system? Or did they themselves want to play on emotions? So this entire article is about people abusing themselves and abusing the world for a kick, for an emotional reaction in another, which makes you feel good about yourself. The newspaper is doing it for money. Why are these other people doing it? I mean, this guy who created this entire hoax at first, claiming everything is real, to go and even create something like that over an accident scene. I'm going to try and include the photo here for you, but to even take a photo of an accident and to go and impose a picture of an angel hovering above the accident scene and sending that to your sister so she can get a fright. Just imagine what type of separation you must go into within your mind towards the people who died in that accident. You really do not care about the people and the lives that were lost. To you it became about entertainment. And this is what the human has become. Even the people who read the newspapers don't care about what they are reading. They just want to read it. So the entire game that is being played here by the human is that we support each other in deception. And this entire article, everybody is supporting each other in deception. Nobody actually cares about the people who died in the accident. Nobody actually cares about all the abuse and pain and death that is happening every day in the world. And yet things will be used simply for the human to entertain themselves through a mere moment. I mean, you read the newspaper, you have that shock inside of you, you react energetically to what you've just read. Oh, there was an accident. And 10 minutes later, you couldn't give a shit. That is the organic robot that we have become as humanity. Thank you very much.